When most people think of fruit juice, they think of orange or apple juice. However, there are many types of fruit juice from a wide variety of different fruits. Additionally, what are some of the potential benefits and downsides of fruit juice? In truth, it is possible to make juice from almost any fruit with the right equipment. However, some fruit juice varieties are more common than others. For example, it is possible to find apple, cranberry, orange, and pineapple juice in almost any decent-sized grocery store. This video provides a guide to 16 of the most common juices, as shown in the table of content. Each of these juices has reputable nutritional data available within the USDA database. Apple juice is a sweet drink with a cloudy, translucent yellow color. Compared to other types of juice, apple juice contains a relatively high sugar content, which explains its sweet taste. A cup of apple juice also provides a good amount of manganese and potassium. Blackberry juice isn't quite as popular as more common juices like orange and apple. However, it is increasingly easier to find and has a sweet but slightly tart taste. Blackberries are also rich in polyphenols, making blackberry juice a concentrated source of these compounds. Like blackberry juice, the juice from blueberries has a slightly tart but sweet taste. Blueberry juice has a deep purple color due to its high levels of anthocyanins, a type of polyphenol. Blueberry juice contains moderately high amounts of vitamin K, vitamin C, and copper. Coconut water. Despite its coconut water name, young green coconuts are categorized as fruit, and the water they contain is their juice. Coconut water contains various electrolyte minerals, and it is a particularly good source of potassium. Cranberry juice. Cranberry juice has a much tartar flavor than most other fruit juices and contains less sugar. For this reason, it is easy to find sweetened cranberry juice products on store shelves. However, the juice is also available in its unsweetened form. Cranberry juice has a deep red color that, like other berry juices, comes from its significant anthocyanin content. Regarding its vitamin and mineral content, cranberry juice supplies a good source of vitamin E and vitamin K. Grapefruit juice is another popular fruit juice with a sweet yet slightly bitter taste. This bitter taste comes from grapefruit's naringin content, a bitter-tasting flavonoid polyphenol. Grapefruit juice can come in two colors, white, which is pale yellow, and red or pink, which is the most common. Like most citrus fruit, a glass of grapefruit juice is a good source of vitamin C. The juice also contains moderate amounts of potassium, magnesium, copper, and thiamine. Grapes have one of the highest sugar contents among fruit. This being the case, grape juice has a very sweet taste. Depending on which type of grape the juice came from, grape juice can be a deep purple or a pale yellow color. A cup of grape juice also provides high amounts of manganese and potassium. Lemon juice has a cloudy pale yellow color and a sour taste. This sourness comes from lemon's high citric acid levels. Unlike other juice drinks, lemon juice has a relatively low sugar content and a lesser sweet taste. Like other citrus-based juice, lemon juice is rich in vitamin C, with a cup providing 105% of the daily value. Lemon juice also provides moderate folate and potassium content. Lemons and limes are pretty similar in their taste and usage. It is also the case that lime juice has a similar nutritional profile to lemon juice. Lime juice has a cloudy, pale, yellow to green color and a sour taste. Like lemon juice, lime juice has a high citric acid content. However, it also has an even lower sugar content than lemon juice. Lime juice is a good source of vitamin C, potassium, and folate. Orange juice is the most popular juice globally and sells more than other fruit juices. It is also one of the sweetest fruit juice drinks, with a relatively high sugar content. Orange juice provides a decent amount of several vitamins and minerals per cup, including vitamin C, thiamine, folate, potassium, and magnesium. Pineapple juice has one of the highest sugar contents among juice. The drink has a sweet and fruity but slightly tart taste. Pineapple juice is widespread and is among the most common commercially available fruit juices. Notably, pineapple juice is one of the most nutrient-rich fruit juice options. In this regard, a cup serving provides high amounts of vitamin C, manganese, vitamin B6, thiamine, folate, magnesium, and potassium. Pomegranate juice is a juice drink often marketed for its polyphenol content. These polyphenols include high levels of anthocyanins and flavonoids. Pomegranate juice has a deep purple color and a sweet yet slightly tart flavor. Per cup serving, pomegranate juice also provides reasonable amounts of vitamin K, folate, potassium, and vitamin E. Prune juice is a flavorful juice made with a single ingredient of dried plums. However, since dried fruit has a much lower water content than fresh fruit, it contains significantly more sugar gram for gram. As a result, prune juice is an intensely sweet drink with high sugar content. It has an extremely dark purple to brown color. Prune juice contains high levels of numerous vitamins and minerals. These include potassium, iron, manganese, vitamin C, vitamin K, copper, riboflavin, niacin, and vitamin B6. Although it is more difficult to find than many other fruit juices, strawberry juice is another commercially available berry-based juice. Strawberry juice has a bright red color and a mildly sweet taste. In terms of micronutrients, a cup of strawberry juice offers high amounts of magnesium, potassium, zinc, copper, vitamin C, niacin, folate, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Tart cherry juice is the juice of Prunus cerasus, a species of cherry known as either sour cherry or tart cherry. Unlike sweet cherries, tart cherries have a pronounced tart flavor in addition to their sweetness. This being the case, tart cherry juice has a unique tart and sweet taste. Tart cherry juice is also a good source of thiamine, copper, potassium, manganese, and magnesium. Although primarily considered a culinary vegetable, tomatoes are botanically a fruit. Tomato juice is a deep red, sweet-tasting juice that gets its color from its significant levels of lycopene. Lycopene is a carotenoid that may have several beneficial impacts on human health. A cup of tomato juice is also a rich source of vitamin C, potassium, manganese, magnesium, copper, thiamine, niacin, vitamin B6, and folate. Fruit juice has nutritional benefits as well as potential downsides. Firstly, fruit juice provides a concentrated source of all the vitamins and minerals found in fresh fruit. Juice is also a significant source of polyphenols and other phytonutrients that may have benefits. Thus, like milk products, juice also contributes to vitamin and mineral status. In contrast, other drinks like water, tea, and coffee don't, or contribute minimally. Additionally, drinking juice can sometimes be more convenient and less time-consuming than fresh fruit. An example of this would be pineapple juice compared to cutting, washing, and removing the skin of the pineapple fruit. When making juice, the fiber and structure of the whole fruit are lost. This is a downside because most people do not consume enough dietary fiber, and juice does not contain it, whereas whole fruit does. Furthermore, systematic reviews of extensive observational studies and clinical trials demonstrate that fiber has numerous benefits for human health. Another drawback of juice is that this lack of fiber and cell walls found within whole fruit leads to a greater glycemic impact. In other words, fruit juice can raise blood sugar to a greater extent than whole fruit. Additionally, it can be much easier to overconsume fruit juice than whole fruit. For instance, 2 cups of orange juice are relatively easy to drink. However, this is the equivalent calorie and carbohydrate content of close to 4 140-gram oranges. Consuming 2 cups of orange juice is much easier than eating 4 oranges in a row. What fruit juice is 100% fruit? Firstly, any fruit juice can contain additional ingredients. This is the case whether the source fruit is orange, cranberries, or any other fruit. Therefore, checking the ingredients label when looking for pure 100% juice is important. Labels like "not from concentrate" or "freshly squeezed" indicate that the juice consists of fresh, pressed juice. Is fruit juice healthy? Fruit juice could be healthy, or it might not be, depending on the overall diet. For example, if an individual consumes less energy than required from food and has an insufficient vitamin C and potassium intake. In this case, fresh orange juice would likely be a beneficial addition to the diet. In contrast, adding several cups of fruit juice daily to a diet that is already energy and nutrient sufficient would be detrimental and encourage weight gain. What fruit juice is 100% fruit? Firstly, any fruit juice can contain additional ingredients. This is the case whether the source fruit is orange, cranberries, or any other fruit. Therefore, checking the ingredients label when looking for pure 100% juice is important. Labels like "not from concentrate" or "freshly squeezed" indicate that the juice consists of fresh, pressed juice. Is fruit juice healthy? Fruit juice could be healthy, or it might not be, depending on the overall diet. For example, if an individual consumes less energy than required from food and has an insufficient vitamin C and potassium intake. In this case, fresh orange juice would likely be a beneficial addition to the diet. In contrast, adding several cups of fruit juice daily to a diet that is already energy and nutrient sufficient would be detrimental and encourage weight gain. What are the most common juices? Orange juice is the most common and popular juice in the world. In the United States, apple juice is a close second to orange juice. Is drinking 100% pure juice equal to eating whole fruit? No. Although juice contains the same vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients, it doesn't have the fiber content of whole fruit. Additionally, juice digestion will be quicker due to the lack of volume and structure compared to whole fruit. In this regard, a controlled trial demonstrated that an energy-matched serving of apple is more satiating or filling than apple juice and leads to reduced subsequent energy intake.